Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for another episode of the Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers series here on the channel. In the previous episode, we checked out some of the bonus goals found throughout this game, and we discovered that one of the bonus goals is to complete unique races and modes, to win specifically on unique racetracks and modes. So obviously online race is one of the modes we could tackle, but we're just going to keep things simple with the singular race, where obviously because there are 12 tracks in the game and there are 12 different points to the objectives, it basically means that in order to get all 12 points we just need to race on all 12 unique tracks. We need to get first place. We're going to make it a little bit harder on ourselves with quite literally the name of difficulty right there. Now we can boost our collection by placing vehicles on the portal as stated on that piece below. So what we're going to do is that instead of utilising the instant vehicles the game has to offer, we're going to place vehicles of our own, because those vehicles are going to be more powerful and buffed up compared to what the instant vehicles of the game have to offer, which is why we summoned in, as you can see below there, the Sky Slicer, not for Sea Splasher, for Splatter Splasher, and then obviously the Burn Cycle for our land vehicular unit. Obviously, Legendary Triton specifically is going to continue to be our driver. He's going to be a great driver at that because his health bar is quite chunky, so it's going to be harder to deplete that. And the more health you have, the better, because then you're going to be spinning it out much less frequently. And spinning out is obviously a huge time waste. One thing you don't want to do in a race is waste time, because the idea is to get to your finish line as fast as possible, more faster, so to say, than the opponents that surround you. Okay, that's a good start. Obviously we got the perfect boost, but man, energy is depleted very, very quickly in this. It's rather tragic indeed. It's even more tragic when, first of all, I can't speak, that's tragic in of itself. It's also tragic when I miss the items, or the power-ups, whatever they call it in this game, but they are essentially the mechanic that leads to this game being compared way too harshly to Mario Kart. Just because it's a karting game with a power-up slash item-based system does not make it a carbon copy or a Mario Kart clone. The games could not be any more different in terms of their mechanics and track design, as well as the inspirations behind said track design. You saw it there, those mechanics. That Tiki Speaky isn't guaranteed to make a spin out. It will only make a spin out if we run out of health, which is what the opponent ahead of us unfortunately suffered a long way. But us, our health is looking just fine until it isn't. We've already used up our ship's shield, so now we're down to the health of our Skylar that we have to rely upon. I want that item right now, and it's a very convenient item at that. But as you saw, we could have took the outside route and gotten boost, but the superior line is definitely the inside line there. And as I said earlier, the whole point is to take the best lines possible, because that will guarantee you get into the finish line quicker. It would be even quicker if I hit the boost pad correctly there, but unfortunately, rather than hit the boost pad, I'm being spun out by Astro Blast. Now, whenever you make an opponent spin out, you also garner yourself a boost, which in Mario Kart, it doesn't matter if you snipe an opponent with a green shell, you do not get a speed boost from it. The only benefit you get from hitting your opponent with a shell is that they are slower, whereas you are not. So you can slow down opponents, but that doesn't make you any more quicker, it just makes them slower. Whereas this game can give you both advantages from just one item or just one attack. In other words, I'm saying these things to prove the uniqueness of the racing mode in this game when compared to Mario Kart, as people who claim this is a carbon copy of Mario Kart and is very clearly heavily inspired by it. Yes, there is inspirations there, but that's about the be-all and end-all when it comes to this game, and it's a quote-unquote copying of Mario Kart. It is inspired, and that is it. There is no copying going on here. And I'm repeating everything I'm saying right now, to put emphasis on the very thing I'm repeating. After all, that is the effect of repetition, to put emphasis on the very thing you are repeating. Now, you don't want to hit the boost pads whilst they're electrified, because that's going to deal damage as opposed to boosting you. Okay, a Sky Iron Shield, that's convenient, because obviously whilst you have the Sky Iron Shield active, opponents cannot hit you and deal any damage. Speaking of damage, that's inconvenient, but we still have almost full shields. In fact, after the healing elixir is said and done, we should have full shields regenerated, so that is rather convenient. That was rather convenient even for us to recuperate our shields so easily. The more shields we have, then the less chances there are at our health being depleted, so we won't be spinning out so long as that happens. So far, despite this being named for hard difficulty, it's not really living up to the word hard. Not even difficult at this rate, because we are about to claim our first place victory with pretty much a lot of ease in the process. You know, that wasn't the most difficult, is what I'm going as far to say here. So congratulations, we have earned our first place. But our next track right here is going to be the Chompy Garden. Now yes, I am cutting out loading screens and selecting new tracks, because honestly that is not something important and it would just be a huge waste of time. So I'm making things far more convenient for you as the viewer by cutting out those things. What can I say except you're welcome? What can I say? I just got you guys in the forefront of my mind when making these videos. I'm just that kind of person. That kind of selfless, chivalrous person. What else would make me a Gryffindor now, right? This is something I have talked about previously in my videos, being that of a Gryffindor, because pretty much every single like Harry Potter quiz I've ever taken that would obviously sort me into a house, pretty much every single quiz I've ever taken from every single source, every time I've came back with a result of being a Gryffindor. So obviously that is the house within my heart, and that is the house that I'll be sorted into should I ever attend Hogwarts, which yes, I have applied for it for several years now. For some reason the stupid school keeps rejecting me, something about me not being a magical being or some rubbish like that. Yeah, that is pretty alright there, I tried to, isn't it? The boosting, that is. What's not alright on the other hand is that I actually feel quite insulted right now by the concept of Tri-Tip saying alright to my rejection letters from Hogwarts. That is not alright, dude. Quite the opposite. But what is alright is we not only have boosts from the drifting mechanics, but we also have boosts that can be generated from the burn cycle itself when I press the triangle button. That is glorious, my friends. Glorious. And we love to see it, do we? Love to see it. We even leave a fire trail behind us, so then anyone coming up behind us will be attacked by us. Rather convenient that indeed. How are you not dead yet? I mean, you will be. Oh, or not. Wait, yes you are! You just took your time to die, which means that if this was the last lap, that'd be very convenient, because we would have overtaken him at the last most possible minute. And that's the best thing to do, to overtake someone at the last most possible minute. You know, really rip that victory right from under their nose in the harshest, most distracting way possible. Something that will basically tear them apart from the inside out for the rest of their racing careers. Make it an experience for them, one in which they will never forget. So much about me being a Gryffindor at heart. That doesn't sound like a particularly, you know, chivalrous thing to say. But hey, we do have ourselves a Sky Shield. Definitely something that I would gift to last place if I could, because, you know, last place looks like they need every help they can get. But unfortunately, you know, I can't give away charity in this game, because I totally would if it was available to me. Absolutely 100%. I'm not faking how selfless I am. Absolutely not. So here we go. Perfect lines! It'd be even better yet if I wasn't being attacked, but fortunately I had my full shield, so I wasn't killed right before the line, which would have resulted in a very frustrating position, which isn't a first place position, and that is the only position in which we care about. So without further ado, obviously this is our second first place. We are slowly but surely working our way up to our 12 first place victories. Okay, here we are with the Frozen Fossil Festival, I believe is the name of this track. I really should have mesmerized the name of this track by now, given that it is my favourite sea racing track. So you think I'd save my favourite for last, you know, save the best for last and everything, but apparently you'd think wrong. I'm not quite smart enough to think to save the best for last, apparently. But yes, it's looking like these 12 races are going to be split over the course of 2 episodes, because these races are about 5 minutes a pop. So for 6 of them, that is our half an hour time limit per episode. And to get through all 12 will take an hour, which is why it will be perfectly split between 2 episodes. It does feel weird that racing is such a prevalent part of Imaginators Soul Seekers, when obviously racing did not originate in this game, but since they obviously introduced it superchargers, the last thing you want to do is obviously make people collect all of these vehicles the year prior and then have nothing to do with them the very next year. Which is exactly what happened to the Nintendo Switch port of this game, because obviously on the Nintendo Switch you don't have racing, so when you place vehicles onto the NFC readers for the Switch controllers, instead of obviously unlocking the vehicles for the racing mode, as there is no racing mode. Instead, I think they give you Imaginator chests, So yeah, it is at least a good way to rack up Imaginite parts quickly in that game. Much like how placing magic items and traps onto the portal is a great way for raking up treasure in this game, so then you can upgrade your senseis much more quickly with just your years upon years of collecting these pieces of plastic, aka for traps and the magic items. That does beg the interesting question though, if a trap doesn't have a villain in it, then when you place a trap onto the portal for Imaginators, does it still give you like a treasure bonus, or is that treasure bonus lost because there is no villain currently inside the trap? That is really weird and janky. Would have thought that they would have fixed the camera angle for that specific part of the racing level by the time Imaginators came out. You know, they had a whole year to fix it, but apparently not. Oh, but we did kill Quincy. And I'm okay with that, because Quincy is such a pathetic name. They deserve to be murdered based on their pathetic name alone. And now I'm in 5th place! This is karma! We only have a few more turns to go. I need to hurry up and catch up to the others, otherwise we're going to be reattempting this track, which is, you know, going to make it even longer than an hour, which I originally had planned out for this. And it doesn't help when I keep wasting my energy. Nope, this is not happening. I'm going to have to restart the race. This is unfortunate. This is very unfortunate. But unfortunately, you can't win them all. Not when you don't have luck on your side in a luck-based racing game. That and also the C sections for the vehicles just suck in their entirety. They suck so much and I hate them. I hate them so much! But luckily, because I'm cutting out all of like the loading times and the waiting times and all that, then even 7 attempts at these tracks will still boil down to a half-an-hour episode. Maybe a little bit longer, but you know, we don't have to be consistent with 30 minutes on the dot every single time. You know, we kind of have give or take a few minutes in there. Man, why is this such a bad start right now? I know why, because these C levels do not work very well, especially when you have camera angles such as that. These sections are so incredibly jank. They feel half-assed because no doubt not even the developers enjoy these sections. Why the developers created these sections thinking they'd be fun, I have no fucking clue, because these are the anti-fun is what they are. Like, the C sections are the worst part in an otherwise great game, and this is obviously Superchargers I'm talking about here, because Superchargers, I cannot stand the C sections. I can't stand most of the Sky sections either, but I at least enjoy more of the Sky sections than I do the C sections. Plus, the Sky racing tracks are generally a lot better than the C racing tracks as well. Obviously, none of them hold a candle to the land racing sections of the land racing tracks, because they're on land and they have the best mechanics of the three. You know, they don't have floaty controls, but I do miss the kind of like free roam of the Sky sections. You know, you have so much freedom and open space in those sections. It's just a shame that the combat isn't very fast paced, because you have to take so long from getting to point A to point B because the areas are indeed so vast. The tracks don't have that much of a problem though, because you know they're designed as race tracks as opposed to open arenas, which is why, like I said earlier, Sky tracks generally tend to be a lot better than the C tracks. Whoa, where are you trying to go there? Apparently I have some sort of magnet drawing my vehicle away from the racing lines. Oh, Rupert, that's just mean. Why would you do that, man? Rupert, I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were cool. Apparently not. Apparently Rupert has a bone to pick with me. Okay, let's try to get out of here. Can I kill him? Yes! Nightfall is out of here. Now I've just got to get past this final fella. Come on! Spin out! Spin out! Spin out, you bastard! Nope. 2nd place, for fuck's sake.
I am unhappy with the confusing and at times confrontational nature of that
race.
I wanted it to go better. I wanted it to go better!
Okay, so because the Frozen Fossil Festival was getting on my nerves, I decided to switch up the track a little bit and move along to the Mystical Vault instead, which isn't as good a track, but hopefully I can have better luck. So these are about to switch. Well, they're about to switch. It's a little too late for me, most unfortunately. But hey, Big Bubble Popfus is down, so we got our revenge on him for last time at least. Okay, cool. Every time these fellas sneeze, then the boosts change from blue to red, and vice versa. So that's why we've got to be paying attention and listening out for sneezes like that right there. So that you sneeze, we know that the boost panels are currently on the blue side, which means they're about to change. We might as well go for the red instead. These are going to be right by a boost. Oh, shit. well, that could have gone infinitely better, and unfortunately that boost didn't quite spawn in time for us to gain all of our momentum back very quickly. So we're just going to let ourselves be killed off once again by freaking REBOOTED of all characters. The AI are just really buffed up on hard mode for no good reason whatsoever, and I hate it. I hate it so much, in case you can't tell from my tone of voice how much I hate it. Okay, let's take the red panel right there. I swear these have like a longer timer than what they do on for Supercharger's version of the track. Like, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Might be noticing stuff that's not even there. But it just feels as though the same boost panels are remaining around for longer than what they usually do. But say that could just be a weird feeling of mine, so it isn't actually there, mind you. Blue panels, let's go. And we definitely want this right now, because that's going to come in handy, no doubt. Let's keep the top of the surface, even though that's probably not going to help much, because this section is really jank and not very well designed at all. And of course, Tiki Speaky appears now, well after my Skyline shields have been used up. We're already on lap 2. I say already, this is no doubt the longest track in the game. I haven't gone through and timed every single one of them, but in terms of pace and how long this track feels, you combine that with just the natural slow pacing of the sea vehicles, and this by far feels like the longest track in the game, which is why I'm glad we're getting it out of the way now. What I'm not so glad about is missing the boost panels a long way, but trust me, it's quicker to take the inside lane than it is to go on the outside just for the sake of boost panels. No, not with Tiki Speaky again. Anything but with Tiki Speaky again. Let's grab ourselves some boost power. That's what I'm talking about. And this time I'm not running into walls, make it a little bit, you know, easier to not lose all momentum in 30 seconds straight. How to instantly lose all your momentum with Ignite. That might as well be what the title of this episode is, because this is a tutorial on what not to do when playing through these tracks. I'm not particularly good at these tracks now, am I? But what I am good at, however, is boosting away! Let's go! Anyway, what we want now is even more boost power. Do not mind if we do, my friends. Definitely do not mind if we do. Okay, so blue is back. Let's grab ourselves some healing power. Just about one of the only things superior to boosting power. Hopefully not going too fast where we fall through the gap right there, because that can happen due to the poor design of the track I was alluding to earlier. So here we go, we're finally on that third and final lap. It's about damn time we got here. So let's continue hitting as many boost panels as we possibly can. Yes, good timing for Sneeze right there, because it means that we have these boost panels on the inside ready waiting for us. And even more perfect timing for the healing elixir right there, so we can obviously regenerate our shields along the way and continue boosting ahead. Obviously we keep getting that hazard icon because Gilgrunt keeps attempting to attack us, but Kiradir is attempting. He's not being particularly successful on his endeavours, not today. Oh yes, now that's what I'm talking about. That is some absolute perfection when it comes to those racing lines right there. Or what's not so perfect on the other hand is being slowed down by the time cluster and obviously the attacks from the player behind me right now. I kind of wish that they'd hurry up and kill me already, so that then at least if I lose all my health here, I have enough time to catch back up after I lose all my momentum, as opposed to losing all of my momentum at the very end of the track, mind you. That would be very annoying. What's also annoying is that this fella over here is overtaking me. That's rude, don't you think? And now I'm being attacked as well. Oh, these guys are so rude. Okay, cool, we're back in first. I might just stay underwater. Hopefully I won't be attacked so much from down here. Oh, but I want the boost panel. Well, never mind, I guess we're going to spin out anyway. So hopefully everyone behind me has also been spun out by the Tiki Speaky, and because the boost panel was right there, we were able to gain our momentum back very, very quickly. Do not fall down the freaking hole. That would be annoying, but just like that, this should be our victory. Boom, baby! Finally, we have won on our very first sea track. It took us a while getting here, but we got here in the end all the same, and that's what matters. So without further ado, we are going to obviously accept our crowning achievements, and then I'm going to go on ahead, press this X button. I will see you at the next racing track. Okay, so now we're here at Calamity Canyon, another one of my personal favourites. This track is just really well designed, and I love its attention to detail, especially with you know, the food fight happening in the background there. Very much a very Chef Zeppelin inspired level, just obviously without the Zeppelin itself. Instead we get, you know, all the food elements behind the level, just not the actual Zeppelin. Plus the tomatoes there remind me of Food Fight. Kind of makes me wish I could play through this section as Food Fight, but per the rules of the Soul Seeker series, I cannot play as a character whose soul I have not seeked out. And because Food Fight is from a completely different game, it is impossible to seek out his soul in this game as a result. So yes, as tragic as it is, I can't fight through Calamity Canyon as Food Fight. Oh, but I can, however, take horrendous lines, because for some reason they're giving us sharp turns in a sky section with vehicles that are not designed for taking tight turns. Okay, here we go, let's be spinning around there. Now we're going to attack that, because that's going to give me access to the boost panel. We're also going to grab that right there and heal ourselves up from all of the damage we just took, because that was brutal. Speaking of brutality, not cool person behind me, not cool at all. Oh yeah, what a lot of good is that going to do whilst people are behind me as opposed to being in front of me? Well, I at least instantly got my revenge on Astro Blast. Like, seriously, why do you be foolish enough to overtake someone when you are on that minimum health? It's the same thing as overtaking someone in Mario Kart 8 who has a red shell very clearly on display being towed behind them. Like, if I see someone ahead of me with a red shell, which is pretty much all the time Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because red shells are way too frequent in that game, and they're way too busted as well. Red shells like the most busted item in the entire game, so it's really annoying how frequently they pop up. Especially when you can get a coin in first place. If you can get a coin in first place, then it's only fair to balance out the system a little bit by giving second place fewer red shells. No end of races have I lost because I run into a double item box, I get a coin and a single banana, and then the person behind me runs into a double item box, and they get good items, they get double reds. It's like, oh wow, what am I supposed to do with a single coin and a banana against double reds? But yes, overtaking someone when you're low on your own health is a suicide wish, the same as overtaking someone in Mario Kart who very clearly has a red shell in their possession. I often wait for people to throw their red shells and then overtake them. Or I overtake them with a mushroom and then I can use my secondary item as a defensive item most of the time, depending of course on the item. I find it funny how I've spent the first half of this episode talking about how Mario Kart and this game are nothing alike, and now I've spent the latter half just doing nothing but comparing these two games. You guys have really got to go. You're getting on my nerves now. Even more so than my racing lines, which is really saying something, because my racing lines are awful, especially when I forget to attack the damn thing. Come on, we've got to deplete these guys' health because we're approaching the end now. Come on, get him. Oh, you know, I can just defend myself. Yes! Go! 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 That was a close one, but in the end, we made it work. Let's freaking go. We got another first place under our belt in 3 minutes, no less. So there we are. There's a second star. And our third crown to boot. I called it a star earlier. Last time I checked, that shape is not a star. But that being said, let's move on to the next track without further ado. Okay, so now we're on the dragon track. I forget what it's called, which is a shame because it is my favourite track and all that. And that has everything to do with the fact that we are racing on the back of a dragon, which is freaking awesome because dragons in of themselves are freaking awesome. So the more we have to do with dragons, the better. With dragons, there's no such thing as less is more, but we're back in the burn cycle, which is great because this thing controls like perfection, for lack of a better way of putting it. And we didn't have the best start on this track, but that was all part of my strategic plan to get into first place. After all, like, first place would be impossible if not for how well I planned this all out. Say, mark my words, we would get 8th if not for that spin out at the beginning there. Hence why it's all part of my plan. As is being at 42 health, this is all a critical part of my plan, which is what's going to ultimately spell out our final victory. Without this, we would be totally screwed. Okay, without this, I don't think we can get 8th place. I think we're somehow going to perform even worse than that, even though there's only 8 players on the track to begin with. Double dare trick happy. Oh, you're going down now, boy. You're going down. And I'm going to enjoy every last bit of it. Anyway, time for us to land. Where the fuck was Double Air Truck Happy going there? That was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in the background of a racing game, ever. I would like to know how the hell Double Dare Trick Happy even, like, turned around to that degree to start driving backwards. I think that is a level of skill in and of itself. But anyway, let's continue on the boost pads, because obviously the boost pads speed us up and make things a lot more fast-paced, better. That's part of the reason why I like this track. There's so many boost paddles that it's a really fast-paced and well-designed racing course. Plus, there's dragons, which is an instant win, as we mentioned earlier. You know, racing along the back of dragons is just so insanely cool. You can't go wrong with it, really. That's why Dragon Driftway Mario Kart 8 is one of my favourite tracks for that respective game. It's definitely one of my favourite from the original DLC of the Wii U version. Because yes, you ride along the back, and it's not even riding along the back of a regular generic dragon. It's riding along the back of Gobblegut from Mario Galaxy 2. So the fact that the track so heavily takes inspiration from the 3D Mario platformer is another thing which makes it just so well designed. And the track has so many great background details. Like, you have a Lakitu statue of him practicing and Chinese martial art in the background. It's really cool for level of detail to it. And that's just something that comes as standard in the Mario Kart 8 tracks, because every single Mario Kart 8 track is really well detailed. They look gorgeous, to say the least. Okay, let's continue on, and it's a Tiki Speaky! Not with Tiki Speaky, anything but a Tiki Speaky, and now we've almost been reduced to 0 health again because that Tiki Speaky is needlessly brutal. It's the equivalent of the lightning item in this game, because basically it will attack everything ahead of you when you utilize it. And pretty much everyone is caused to spin out by it because it deals so much insane damage. So yes, because you're causing everyone ahead of you to spin out, it basically guarantees that they can be slowed down and you can reap the benefits from it in the end. Again, much like the lightning item in Mario Kart. Okay, here we go. Let's grab that right there. Oh yes, don't mind if we do some infinite boosting. Do not mind if we do indeed. Plus, this leaves behind one hell of a fire trail for my opponents behind me to have to deal with. Like that. Take that, Rupert. Absolutely have a copy of my racing line. Like, come on, man, you got to come up with some more original and creative racing lines than that. You can't just copy me and expect to get away with it. That's copyright infringement, that is. These lines, they belong to me, nobody else. So just like that, we have yet ourselves another first place win under our belt. We're going to claim our crowns, and then I'm going to press the X button. I'll see you at the next racing track. Okay, without further ado, we're here at the Golden Temple, which will hopefully go a whole lot better than the Frozen Fossil Festival. Hopefully, anyway. But you know what? Who cares what I want, right? I mean, the game definitely doesn't. I think the game has already established that in Boats Full. Ironic how I say boats full, given that I'm currently racing as a boat. I'm hilarious now. I see you're not laughing at my joke. Laugh at it already. Laugh! Laugh! I demand it! You know, can't you hear me laughing at my own laughter? It's hilarious, I tell you. So let's grab ourselves an item. A little less hilarious now. In fact, grabbing an item is pretty freaking awesome, actually. Not hilarious. This is a very serious racing game with very serious stakes. The stakes of if I don't win then I have to play these tracks for longer. And that is a fate worse than death, my friends. Okay, here we go. Let's shoot this fella, shoot this fella, shoot this fella. Well, I would just be shooting this fella if I could actually aim straight. And it's funny how I can't even aim in a game with auto-aiming features. Only I could pull off that level of lack of skill, so to say. It's a skill in and of itself to be that unskillful at the game. Anyway, it looks like that guy ran into one of the orbs right there and got spun out by it. What a fool. A foolish Mabu fool. Now, I don't get why half of the races are Mabu and half of the races are Skylanders. I don't get that. I think it would have been much cooler to have all 8 races as Skylanders, but that's asking too much, especially given that I'm now just recollecting that each vehicle terrain, apart from the land vehicles, have only 5 drivers max, unless you're talking about the Wii version, where obviously for Sky has 6 pilots, But even in the Wii U version, there's still only 5 drivers for the C vehicles, so the fact that you can only have like 5 of those superchargers means that they need for Marbu to fill in the remaining slots. But what I want to know is why there are only 8 races period. Having only 8 races is something more accustomed to traditional racing games, whereas this is a kart racer, and in kart races, like Mario Kart, you tend to have 12 players as opposed to 8. You know, it makes sense having 12 players. After all, that makes things a lot more hectic. But in Mario Kart 8, that's what makes things so bad. So I was saying earlier about how frustrating it is for red shells in that game. Red shells appear as frequently as they do because there's so many players behind you at all times when you're in the top positions, and there's so many item boxes to be gathered behind you as well. Like, you can have up to 11 players behind you, and all 11 players have the potential to hit double item boxes. So yes, that's basically 22 chances to get red shells behind you. That's what makes Mario Kart 8 a lot more chaotic, at least for the deluxe version, because obviously the deluxe version introduced the double item system, whereas in Mario Kart 8 you only had the single items. Oh man! Well, at least half of those hits were shielded by the Sky Shield, but still, that kinda stinks. I'm so low in health already, and it doesn't help that I'm not taking the greatest most lines. Better lines would be, well, better. Quite self-explanatory that. Let's shoot that orb because it looks to be funny. I don't even need to destroy it. Destroying it is completely unnecessary. Oh, shit, never mind, it was necessary, totally necessary. And I was brought to a screeching halt, yet somehow I'm still here up in first. That was like the perfect time to lose all my health. Okay, let's pop under there. I'm not going to be able to make it all the way over to that boost, not with the lack of steering power that the C vehicles possess, but I can at least grab the other 2 boosts. Oh no, he has a Sky Shield, so attacking him is useless. I'm just going to have to take better lines, quicker lines at that. Boom! Here we go again. It's time for, I believe, practically the last section of the stage. There's not much more coming up after this, so just got to be careful not to get hit by the orbs, because we already know for hard way how damaging those orbs can be. Ooh, that's useful, especially after we took a nasty hit to the face from one of those orbs right there. Perfect timing for it to pop up and all. But that having been said and done, we have now successfully completed our second C racing mission with a first place victory. So that means that we're going to be concluding the episode here. Without further ado, let's roll that outro. I cannot, in good conscience, end off this video without first thanking all of my incredible channel members whose continued support help make these videos possible. Without them, these videos would be near impossible to make, so from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate every last one of them. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, there are plenty of options on screen now to explore, and please consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. On that note, this video is coming to an end, so thank you so much as always for watching. Until the next video arises, peace!